Hey everybody, day late but not a dollar short. Coaching for the Soul, Thursdays at 3. Today is Friday at 3. Yeah, so if you are live, if you're here person, blah, blah, blah. They're talking about all kinds of junk. I don't know what they're talking about. But anyway, if you're here live, say hello. If you're watching this on my YouTube channel, please subscribe to the channel. Please like my videos. And please leave a little comment, even if it's just hi, Bill, or an emoji, because YouTube will use those algorithms to send Coach for the Soul around the planet to people who need a little bit more coaching for the soul. And also check out the reading specials on billhobart.com. Please, please, please. So this might be an abbreviated version. Not really sure what we're going to do or how we're going to do it. So, hey Taz. Hey Robin. Hi Nancy. Yeah, so we'll see what we're going to do. How we're going to do it. Yeah. We hope everybody's doing good. We're going to talk about some self-care stuff today, and going to few reminders about stuff, okay? And hey Sharon. And so yeah, so it might be 20 minutes, might be half an hour, might be 45 minutes, might be an hour, who knows? They run it, right? Yeah. So it's like 72 degrees and feels like fall in Detroit today. Yeah, it's going to be in the 60s this weekend, unfortunately. Hey Pat. Anything about Michigan, I will tell you, especially in the southeast part of Michigan. About September 15th, you know it's fall because the temperatures tumble big time. All the air starts coming from the north or the northwest, and it all comes across Canada, and it comes in, and then it pretty much stops around southern Michigan, and then it moves east. So it's gonna be chilly this weekend. I think it could be like 70 or something next week, a little bit here and there. But yeah, Michigan weather's, come in the house for a minute and it'll be raining. Walk outside, the sun's shining again. It happens in the wintertime too. It'll be sunny and it'll be snowing like hell outside. Yeah, it's interesting. It's interesting. Lived here in the Midwest my whole life. So, okay, so we're gonna start. Okay. Whew. I hope everybody's feeling the energy. I hope it's good energy you're feeling today. September is going to be a wild and crazy month. All right. You're going to have ups and you're going to have really downs. There's a lot of stuff going on. The major thing is Pluto is back in Capricorn, for the next 2.5 months. And what does that mean? First off, wherever it is in your birth chart, you need to have a birth chart. Okay. PamGregory.com. Scroll all the way down, you'll see on the left-hand side, free birth chart. Click on that, put your stuff in, and then you can print out where the planets are at when you were born. Okay, if you know the date, the time you were born. If you don't, put in either 12 noon or 12 a.m. For people, I tell them do both and see which one you like better, because as you scroll down, you'll see an explanation of every single planet in all 12 houses of your zodiac sign, right? And you can see which one fits you better. Okay, then print it out. Print out the chart and print out everything, the explanations, everything, okay? Pluto in Capricorn. Capricorn's the government, all right? Pluto is a destruction planet. It tears it down and rebuilds. Now, it's been in Capricorn for the last 15 and a half years. It's been in Aquarius since January, okay? So now we're coming back for the finale, basically. And if something will go wrong, it will go wrong. It's about fear, okay? Don't let the circus outside stop you from voting, all right? Don't do that. Don't let the circus outside get you into fear, into angst, into anything if you live in a red state, all right? Because it's going to be fine. It's going to be fine. It is, the more bluster, the more BS, I was going to say the word, but I'm not going to do. The more of that is about fear. That is about fear, about stopping people from voting. Okay? Don't let that happen. All right? Because it's your right to vote every single election, especially presidential elections and governors, mayors, things like that. Okay? But it might be a little bit rocky. Everybody's going to feel something different. All right? I will tell you straight up. If you know where Pluto is in your birth chart, you'll be able to zone in on that exact part of your birth chart, right? And every single house has a different meaning in your life. So it's very important because you can actually look and go, oh, when you feel something, oh, I get it. That's Pluto in Capricorn. And it kind of gives you a, because it's not fatal, okay? It's lost a lot of its zing, Pluto has, all right? It'll be in Aquarius beginning at the beginning of the year for 20 years, okay? The age of Aquarius. Is it going to tear some stuff down? Anything that's still left that needs to be destroyed, it's going to destroy. And that is the third dimension. That's why Spirit always says during Coach for the Soul and during readings, right, is that everything switches in 2025, and it does, all right? Why does Spirit always say a little bit after March? Because we're still in Pluto in Capricorn's energy. Doesn't mean it's going to be fatal. It's not going to. Especially for any earth sign, right? Or any of the cardinal signs. Cardinal signs are Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. They're the four zodiac signs that change of season. They're the leaders of those seasons. Okay? So again, look and see where they're at. Okay? Look and see where they're at, where the planets are at, and what does it actually mean? Because it will absolutely give you an understanding of why they're having a bad day or a bad afternoon or whatever, and then 5 days of good, or 5 days of bad after 3 weeks or 3 days of good. It's all an absolute up and down, okay? But I'm telling you, after March 2025, everything's going to come out good. It's going to be fine, all right? It's going to be fine. But then we start the process of them truly upgrading us with our energy, activating our DNA, which is already happening now. Ancient DNA is coming to life, and as you go through your journey, and you're absolutely committed to that journey, meaning you're going to talk out loud to your spirit guides all day, whenever you have to, or when you have to. They want you to all day if you can, right? Can't say it in your head because they can't get into your head because of ego. Ego's going to block that thing, and it's like not going to happen. So when you feel something here in your chest, and it kind of winces, it's supposed to be, what is that? What is that, Spirit? What is that? And you do your tapping. Those two fingers right there, lay your palm on your chest, your breast, whatever, and tap your sternum. Tap your breastbone, so you can hear it. Nothing light. You got to get that energy out of there by saying, Spirit, this energy is not mine. I need you to take it away. You need to take it away. And on my Bill Clairvoyant Facebook page, okay, and on Bill Hobart and Bill Hobart Clairvoyant Medium Psychic page on YouTube, I post those videos all the time. I posted one yesterday about money. Now, everybody's freaking out about money, right? Do that tapping. It will take you from 10 to 3 in less than 4 minutes. Yes, okay? Because when you're doing it, you're not focusing on the money key. You're not. So you're basically disengaged, which means they can take your energy out of your body and disperse it. That's why tapping is so good. I'm telling you. Look at those tapping videos because they absolutely make sense. When I'm stressed out, when I'm in a place, like yesterday, that money video came, okay? And that's the next thing I want to talk about is we're going to go back to next year too. But the more that you talk to your guides, the more they lead you, if you like it or not. Because they will teach you a lesson by not bringing you what you want. Or if you're talking to somebody like myself, they will tell me one thing that in 2 weeks it's not true, to get you to have the experience in a negative way to learn what you don't want. Okay? It's kind of like a teacher that says you got to take the exam even though you don't know what the hell you're doing. You got to take it anyway. Why? Because you have to. They don't tell you it's because you need the experience that you do it, you don't understand it, and you go, okay, not that I feel silly, not that I feel abused. It's not that at all. When they do it, it's because, okay, you know absolutely that you're not, that you need to talk to us. You know absolutely that, but ego gets in the way, right? Ego gets in the way, and it will stop you from talking. I feel goofy, Bill. That's because you're not talking to them. Talk to them all the time, open up that channel, and trust me, they will lead you into paradise. But they got to get you out of your third dimensional self first, and that's what Pluto in Capricorn is all about. Capricorn is the government. It is structure, okay? Boundaries, tight boundaries, right? There's black and white, there's no gray. It's black or white, what do you want? You can like me or not, I don't care. That's the type of thinking that Capricorn has. Stressful, just absolute boundaries, boundaries about, this is what I'll do, this is what I will not do. There's no in between. Oh, Bill, can you be, no, I can't. This is what we're doing. I talked to a person yesterday, and she was talking about that. And I'm like, yeah, that was me about 5 years ago, maybe 4 years ago. I get it. Well, Bill, is it able to, yeah, you're able to shift that. But all of us have that. All of us have got that. What we have to make sure that we do is when our guides, God, whoever we want to talk about, right? They're yours. They work for you, all right? But they have to teach you like a kindergartner, then a first grader, then second grader, third grader, on up, right? But the great thing is you get to, the energy is so wonderful now, and it's so much lighter, you can skip from second to sixth grade, from 8th grade to 9th grade, to 11th grade, to graduation, and college, see? Because the more that you allow them to activate yourself, your DNA, the more that you allow them to lead you, because they're energy, all right? They're energy. So on your social media, I'm telling you straight up, I've said this before, I'm going to say it again, you have to have a YouTube feed. You have to. You have to have an Instagram feed. You got to have a Facebook feed. And you got to go on it at least once, at least 4 times a week, 5 times a week. Okay? Why? For those of you who cannot hear them yet, right? They need to communicate with you. Now they can communicate with you in your mind by showing you pictures, by showing you words, a sentence, a paragraph, right? Or in your heart, right? Where you read something and your heart gets big. You get excited, okay? That's them. Not you, it's them. And you have to be conscious of how you feel. Because you have to be conscious of how you feel. Why is that? Because third dimension doesn't allow us to feel. Does not allow us to feel. Why? Simply because we're in survival mode. We're coming out of survival mode. That's why the circus outside is so crazy. They want you to be in struggle. They want you to be in fear. They want to put things back to the way that they have always been. No, they're clearing that out. And for all of us, we need to truly be conscious of that and understanding that I have to do my part. Now, is it every day? No. It will be every day because, like myself, I'm in fifth dimension most of the time, right? Doesn't mean I don't have my third dimensional moments. Hence why they brought me the tapping money video yesterday, okay? I had an expense last week, it was $1,500. Well, my rent is $1,600 and some dollars. Well, that was rent money that I had to spend on my car. I didn't have rent money, okay? It was due yesterday, right? I was freaking a little bit, as I do about money, because that's my biggest thing. I'm getting over it, right? Codependent on it, as Spirit just said to me. He's very codependent on that. And it's true. That's the way I was raised, right? And I want to talk about that too. So did the tapping video. It felt pretty good. And I had rent money. Right? The Coaching for the Soul memberships sold 2. 2 people joined. See? Them. Bring me the tapping video so I calm down so that when those 2 people paid for their Coaching for the Soul memberships for a year, right? Okay. That's probably the second or third time that's happened to me in a year. Normally it was I didn't get that video and I freaked out until the money showed up in my Venmo or my PayPal account. And I went, oh gosh, Spirit, thank you. I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful for that. Well, this time they showed me how to work with that so that it would come in at the right time, at the right place, at the right time. We can all do that. We can all do that. All right? Because I'm telling you, fear of not having money is a third dimensional basic. Then food, then shelter. All ego-based. All ego-based. Ego is a third dimensional instinct. We will not have it in fifth dimension and higher. Even 4D, we won't have it in there. But when we're in 4D, which some people are, we're still going between 3D and 4D. And we live in a 3D world at the moment. That's going to change next year, everybody. You're going to be like, Bill, WTF. What just happened last night? I woke up as a different person. Yeah, I go throughout my day like that. I will get up from the couch and I'll look in my apartment and it's a totally different apartment. I'm like, I don't recognize anything. And everything's foggy and kind of wavy. It's just in between. That's usually when I'm in my third dimensional self, laying on the couch at night, right, with the dog. And, I get up to get some water or something like that. And it's like, whoa, everything's different because I'm back up here in 5D. That's going to happen to all of us as we move forward. Okay? It's super, super, super important that you have the basics down. Talk out loud to your spirit guides. And people say, Bill, I don't know what to say. Say, Spirit, I need to bring me $1 million. You want $1 million? Then ask him for it. Doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. But you got to believe in your heart that you deserve it. And many people don't think they do. The difference between 3D here and 5D there is massive. It's narrower every single day. Every day. But human has to understand that they need to be in the same vibration as that $1 million. But when you hear buy a ticket. Yeah. See? James, I'm telling you, buy the ticket. When you get again, people in front of you at the grocery store are talking about buying a ticket. Buy a ticket. Right? If you're on vacation and there's a bunch of people waiting to buy tickets, buy the ticket. They're saying if you're dedicated enough to stand in line to buy the ticket that you were told to buy by everybody buying tickets. Make sense? That's how they can lead us without actually being able to speak to us in our minds, in our third eye. Okay? And like I've told many, many, many people, don't watch what you wish for when it comes to them talking to you. Okay? It's a long road to getting them managed to where they don't keep you awake all night, number one. Number two, that they don't maneuver your day in a way that you didn't expect. Yeah. Okay? So as we go into next year, there are definitely things that we have to do. You got to understand that this right here is tied to ego. And ego will sabotage you every chance it gets for what you want. Right? So when ego tells you something that's not true, ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Say it out loud. Ego, that's not true, that's a lie. You got to be authoritative. Because ego works for you. It's in your head, in your psyche, right? So you have to make sure that it's a child. And it truly is. It's truly in a child state because it believes it has to save your life. And that's not true. That's a lie. That helps to heal your heart. Depending on where you carry your energy from the past, heart or gut, it's the only place it's going to be. Okay? Just because of the chakras. I carry mine in my heart since I was a kid, in my heart, right? And so wherever it is, again, soothe it, Spirit says. If it's in your heart, do your tapping. Gut, do your tapping. Lay your hands on it and sit quiet. Ask for divine healing, right? Say it out loud if you have to, right? Archangel Raphael, I'm asking for divine healing for myself. How many people don't do that for themselves? They don't. They don't, because they weren't taught to love themselves. They weren't taught to like themselves. They weren't taught to do anything for themselves, because that's selfish. Selfish. For themselves. Selfish. See how that works? Self. Stop doing it for yourself. That's not the way it's supposed to be. You have to share. No, you don't. You don't have to share anything. And as you understand that, and as your DNA matches that, and your conversations match that, you'll start to push away people that no longer serve you. They're no longer in your energy. That's gonna happen big time between now and the end of the year. Guarantee you. Don't be surprised when it does. When you just get this hit, right? You know what? They don't really, I don't know. I think the energy shifted in you, not in, right? In you being yourself, not in those people. You just upgraded, and they have not. Then you know that they're no longer your confidant, your best friend. You can't keep it that way, because it's not going to work. You are going to eventually get upset with them and angry with them and go, I should have cut this thing up. You have to be completely cut, but you got to have your boundaries up. Boundaries up. Yeah, see? So as we go forward for the next 3 months, right? I mean, there's September, October, November, December. Maybe let's say 3.5. It's all about being conscious of what we're doing and celebrating when we do get what we want. Celebrating when we I forgot about that thing. I gotta get that thing off of there. Yeah, because if you don't do that, what happens is ego keeps you in the same energy that you have been in. Okay? That's not good energy. Again, money, food. Oh, too, a job in there too, right? And housing, right? And that can be so subversive, Spirit says, that it absolutely catches you off guard. Completely catches you off guard. And you go, oh my God, because ego will absolutely self-sabotage you every chance it gets by starting narratives in your head, because it does not know what 5D is. It doesn't know what 5D is. It's a third dimensional instinct. Okay? So, and you guys have questions, put them down below. Better yet, when I post this on the YouTube channel at billhobart.com, at Bill Hobart, put your comment there so other people can see it, okay? Once I post it, which will be like before something, pop there, like the video. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe to it, and leave a comment, all right? If you have a question, I'll answer the question. And the cool thing is, everybody can see those questions, which is what it's all about, because they may have the same question, and they may feel comfortable in asking another question, because they never come off the YouTube channel, ever, right? Ever, okay? So it's a good thing. It kind of helps. It kind of helps, you know, because you may have one question and boom, and somebody can answer it for you. That happens on Facebook a lot, where people ask a question. If I posted something and somebody else in the group will absolutely answer the question, which I think is kind of cool. Other people who ask the question don't like it, usually, because they want it to come from me. I'll just comment, you know, that yeah, she's right. Yeah, Sue's right. Or yeah, Joy's right, whatever. Yeah. Okay? Super important that you can, because you can learn how to teach everybody, and that's what it's all about. Because you're going to have to do it in the future anyway. So, plain and simple. Y'all are going to be teachers for the Muggles or the Half-Bloods. If you haven't seen Harry Potter, watch the first 2 movies. For the people who are on the planet. Just picture you're watching Coach for the Soul. You're going to be teachers. Okay? Very, very soon. Very soon. Okay. Man, they're chatting away. Okay. 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 Codependency. Okay. I started this journey from a video on YouTube that Spirit brought me on a Sunday morning. Sunday's my day where I'm so spiritual, it's just ridiculous. because I don't have to work usually, so I'm in my good space, right? And if it's spring or summer, it's great. If it's fall or winter, I'm still okay, but I just don't like being in the house all the time. And with the door not open, windows open, things like that. That's why I cannot wait to move west. So codependency is absolutely everything that you could possibly imagine that that's probably wrong with you came from childhood. Okay, understanding that that our parents did what they could do. They were not very smart people when it came to emotions and doing what they needed to do. They had their own baggage, steamer trunks full of baggage. Okay, I got something yesterday after something that I watched on Wednesday, and the Spirit and I were talking about how I was talking to my sister about it too. When we didn't get affirmations as kids, that not happening affects us emotionally as kids. Okay, that I'm one of them. Please our parents, please my dad, please my mom, right? To get a thank you. Can you imagine? I can't imagine that they would be that oblivious to, right? But they were born in the Depression, just before the Depression. So I get it. They lived in lack for a really long time. And they didn't get it either from my grandmother and grandfather and stuff like that, right? So like Spirit talked about last week on how to treat your kids, okay? It's a big thing for adults from, gosh, I don't care. Unless you have progressive parents, it is like a long connection with this not being noticed, not being able to speak. I run into a lot of people who they can't speak because their throat chakra is closed, completely shut. Because anytime that they started to say something to their parents, they got shut down. Me, I was a smart ass. Trust me, I was the smart ass. I didn't care. I'm going to tell you what I think. Until my mother looked at me and said, "Who do you think you're talking to?" And I went, okay, I went too far. But 9 times out of 10, chat. See? And again, my sister completely shut down, right? My oldest brother, he was yappity like me. Big time, you know? He was 7 years older than I was, so I followed his lead, right? Whatever, leave me alone. He was a Capricorn also. But my second brother, he right back in, right? Wanted to please my parents all the time. He was the pleaser big time because there's 5 years between us. And so he was 5 years old when I was born. Not a good thing for him, I guess, right? But us not getting attention from our parents, us not getting love from our parents. Again, my mother and father did okay. I'm alive, right? Psychologically, not so much. Emotionally, not that much. They didn't know how to do. Like my father said to me many, many times, William, I didn't know what to do with you. My little gay son, I didn't know what to do with you. You know, with my brothers, he was all chummy with them, but I was kind of like over here with my sister, not getting any attention at all. Okay? And those stories are common through all of our lifetimes, right? But they're especially important now because we have to overcome that codependency of doing things for a thank you, doing things for affirmation, doing things because we pleased somebody. Okay? And Spirit brought me this yesterday, which I'd never even thought about. Prostitution is a big... We go into that to please men, women do, and some men do. Men go into it to please men. Okay? Why? Because they're the authority figure, and those people did not get what they needed from their mothers or their fathers. Mothers, probably not as bad as dad, but yeah, or maybe just as bad, right? So understanding that all the quirks that we have about sex, about eating, about overeating, about being and putting up boundaries, taking care of ourselves, telling ourselves we love ourselves 5 to 10 times a day, right? All the things that we've taught, Spirit and I, over the last 8 years, it's all about that. It's all about understanding. I can just look at myself starting the program in 2017 to what we talk about today is like night and day, right? And we can look back at relationships that we had and what they taught us. Did the other person learn too? No, they weren't here to learn from us. We were the ones we were supposed to learn. Why? Because we're bigger than them. We're the teachers. We're the leaders. Those other people are not. Right now, there's a lot of focus on narcissism. Massive amounts of people are coming out and going, I'm married to a narcissist. I'm married to a narcissist man, to a narcissist woman. My brother's a narcissist. My sister's a narcissist. Whatever. They're all of a sudden we're getting this understanding that, oh my gosh, we grew up with narcissism. I know I did. Didn't know what it was then, right? Because there's so many particles to narcissism. Not receiving love from your parents. Narcissism. When your parent says to the collective, I had you kids to take care of me, not me take care of you. Heard that my whole life. Yeah, from my mother. See? When you're not getting anything from your parents, but when your friends are around, they love your friends. See? Giving that attention to your friends. Because why? Don't know. Because you have to live in the house with them. What Spirit told me. Well, Bill, because they can't get rid of you. You're their responsibility. Oh, okay, that makes sense. But you can't hump like rabbits and not expect to get pregnant in the 50s and 60s and early 70s. You're going to. Trust me. That's what it's about. But they didn't think about that. Right? It's very interesting. You think, yeah. But our parents all did those types of things. They all did those types of things, you know? And so you look at what the energy taught you. What to survive, Spirit says. To make do. To shut off that part of yourself, right? Which wanted your parents to say something nice to you, right? Help you with homework without getting upset. As my sister said, I just didn't do the homework. I didn't worry about that. And she didn't. She didn't. You know, why? Because of the energy in my house. See? That our parents didn't do that with us. They got frustrated because we were frustrated. They weren't teachers. They were in survival mode after work, right? So if you look at all those things, and with codependency, it is recognizing it in ourselves. You don't have to do a lot of work on that. They're taking that away. But they can't take it away until you recognize it in yourself. All the stuff that you were taught by the energy of your house. And people have steamer trunks full of baggage. Trust me, we all do, right? But that's what therapy is for, when it's really deep down. Therapy helps millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people every single day. Been there, done that, 13 years. Okay? Back in 2000, right? Because they were like, we got to go talk to somebody because you know what? You're a wackadoodle. I know. I can't understand why. Yeah. See? Because every man that I ever dated left. Because I was dysfunctional. And I didn't know why. I didn't have any idea why. Yeah. When I was in retail, this is probably the 1990s, when I had to wear a suit for work, for meetings, I thought I was a little boy in a man's suit. Didn't know why. Well, guess what? Right? 12 or 13 years old, 11, 12, 13, is the emotional place where boys get into, you know, if they're not recognized, especially a gay boy, right? That boys don't get recognized if they're not dad's pal, right? Mom's pal, whatever you want to talk about, right? Our emotions stop at that time. That was me. See? So if you look at all the stuff that we have, not to overcome, but to look at, It isn't hard. It really isn't. If you're self-aware, which I believe most of you are, not every day, because we can't do it every day. We live in a third dimensional world for another 3, 4, 5, 6 months, right? We can look at the things that happened to us, the jealousies that we had with our family, right? Or the anger that we had with our families. Again, I mentioned this a minute ago, and I talked about it before, that my brother was angry that I was born. My mother didn't want my sister and I. It wasn't the plan. This is the plan. My mom was a Taurus, my dad was a Virgo. I didn't ask for this little Capricorn little boy or this Scorpio female who's beautiful, and my mother was not. She could be pretty, but she wasn't like my sister or my father or my other brother. My mom and I pretty much looked alike until probably 20 years ago. I started looking like my father, which blew my freaking mind. Like, I look more like dad every day. This is kind of weird. I was mom, but that transformation, see? And we all go through that. We all have to look at how we felt with our brothers and sisters and then let it go, right? Maybe watch a video. Let them prompt you, right? That's where you got to have a YouTube feed. My biggest moments of transformation have come from them putting a YouTube video right at the start of my feed when I'm on my YouTube feed. Be the first or second video, and I'll go, oh, and I'll look at it and I'll be like, yep, got to do that one. Because I'm feeling like that morning, because they're making us feel like that morning. Why? So we do the video and watch it. Then we go, oh my God, oh my God, it's exactly what I needed today. Of course it is. They know everything about you. They have the schedule, we do not. We do not. So it's very, very important that you have those things in place, right? Until you're able to communicate with them 100% back and forth. You can sit quietly for 10, 15, 20 minutes, a half hour, and just sit there and right? Just sit there. Your mind is clear. They're bringing you what you need to have, or they're not. Maybe it's just having to quiet your mind, which is easier. It's easier than I thought it was. Because we all have monkey brain. We all have monkey brain. It never stops. It never stops. It never stops. And our emotions flow up and down. And, oh my gosh, I'm happy right now, but in half an hour I'll be so angry and so mad. That is them trying to pull that stuff out of you. Guided meditation. People are going through a lot of transformation at the moment when they're not doing their work. Not doing their work. And in the next 2.5 months, we're all going to see that in other people. I expect to be really busy, which I'm blessed for. Because people are going to wonder, I don't understand how I lost that job in 5 days. I made a small mistake and they let me go. Well, okay. Why do you think that is? Well, I don't know. Again, they hired me, blah, 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 blah. Well, do you think you were supposed to learn a lesson? Not about the mistake at all. It's about letting stuff go from your past job, past relationship, past whatever, because of ego, sneaks up and bites you in the butt. Always. It's there to sabotage you all day long if you let it. Ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Ego, that's not true, that's a lie. Catching ego when it's trying to get you to go left instead of right or straight. Because many, many people, less now than ever before, listen to the voice in their head. When you're connecting with your guides and you're actually clairvoyant, clairaudience, all 5 or 6 clairs, you know it's them. You just know. It's like an old best friend. Ego, you know it's ego. Because for me, it comes on my right side, right? And it's like, yeah, don't worry about that. Don't worry about that yellow light. Just go through it. No. No ticket, thank you. No accident, thank you. Right? Again, they'll let you do it. First or second or third time. Till you finally go, okay, I need to quit listening to the voice in my head. But I thought that was, no, it's not good. It's bad. It wants to get you to have the realization that, first off, it's my enemy. Right? Number 2, I have boundaries. I control everything in my area, including my mind and my heart. And keeping that vibration high, like Spirit has talked about before, all green lights. You want all green lights where you're going? Then what have you done that day to get your vibration to be high after you wake up in the morning? Because when you wake up in the morning, it's one of two things. You're either pissed off or happy. There's no in between. There's no in between. I'm pissed off or I'm happy. Well, I'm not very happy in the morning. I hate the morning. And with girlfriend, it's 5:30, 6 o'clock in the morning when she decides that, you know what? Hey, why don't we get up now? No, we're not going to get up now. But Daddy, you're awake. I just went to the bathroom. She did that this week at 2 o'clock in the morning. I went to the bathroom in the bedroom, and she's awake, and her tail's wagging, and she's licking my legs, and oh no, we got to go back to bed. She's like, no, Daddy, and she starts lick. Okay, I know you love me, but we have to go to bed. She had the cone on at the time. So the cone's hitting my legs, and I'm like, oh my God, come on, Daisy, let's get back in bed. And I put her back in bed, and she slept the rest of the night, right? But for her, it's like, whatever, I'm up all night. Okay, she half sleeps because she thinks she has to take care of me, which is fabulous. She sleeps during the daytime. In fact, she's sleeping now. She's been sleepy all day. I'm kind of thinking about maybe I have to take her to the vet. Maybe I have to take her to the vet tomorrow. You know, she had her surgery on Tuesday. But all those things that as you go forward, you learn, or it gets activated inside your body. So you don't have to think, you just know. And it's so funny because people will send me a text saying, so Bill, blah, 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 is that spirit? Well, who the hell do you think it is? You know, or is it my ego? Well, is it something bad? No, it's this. Well, then what are the dreams about, Bill? Well, you're opening up, you're allowing yourself to blah, 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 right? But it's funny because many times if they watch the program, right, or they watch videos, things like that, they do their meditations. You can tell when it seeps in and they take it for real. When they stop asking those questions to somebody like myself, they start asking them to them. Well, Bill, I can't hear them. That doesn't matter anyway. What do you got to hear them for? For confirmation. So you're in fear that you don't think that's real. You can't follow something that I can't follow somebody, Bill, that I don't see. Well, good luck with that. God in the universe has never been able to be seen. It's energy. See? So as you go through and you ask that question out loud to your guides, ask that question out loud to your guides, right? And I'll tell you, I know. And not feel guilty about doing it, Spirit says, because people do, which drives them nuts and knonkers. But why does human feel guilty about saying things to us? Because they don't think they deserve it. Or they don't think it's real. They think they're going to look like they're wackadoodle. No, not really. Just don't do it in the middle of a crowded restaurant when you're eating your Burger King or whatever, right? Or you're having good food, whatever. Right? But you'll get messages all day long if you allow it. You'll get messages all day long if you allow it. When ego's not in the way, when you're not in fear. When you're not in fear of money or love or your job or your house, your shelter, food. Yeah. See? Those are the things we have to calm in ourselves, and that's what guided meditations do. They allow our spirit guides, our guardian angels, to pull that energy out of our body when we become lightheaded, when we breathe. That's what it's all about. I can go into meditation in about three breaths. I never thought I'd be able to do that. Everybody can do it. It's practice. It's practice. Taking it seriously and making time for it. And everybody's busy, right? Everybody is busy. But if you're busy, like in third dimension, guess what? They can't upgrade you because your energy is so, can't happen. Can't happen. That's why you have to be really, really conscious, really understand that you have to have common practices in place that you do every day. Every day. Talking out loud every day. There is this Sholin exercise 13-minute little thing that you do all the exercise with your hands and your wrists and your elbows and your shoulders and your waist and your back and things like that. I think it's like 11 minutes long. I do that every single morning, every morning, as much as I possibly can. Some days in the morning I don't feel good at all. I have to get myself up and get myself loaded. But I tell you what, it makes it, especially as older that you get, the more your fingers don't work, the more your wrists don't work, the more everything kind of seizes up because you're not as active. I'm 10% as active as I was when I worked in retail. I mean, I was working 65 hours a week and running my butt off all day long, making that cash, right? Leading people, right? Now I don't. That was 10 years ago. So again, in 10 years, I've absolutely slowed down to a point where I can actually pay attention to myself. I can actually pay attention to the people around me. I no longer settle. Right? It's important. It's super, super important that we all understand that fifth dimension is coming. Is there going to be things that can rattle us? Yes. Is there a way not for us to rattle us? Yes. Ego, we're fine. If it's ego. If it's just you personally, right? You gotta self-parent. I had some people who learned that a couple weeks ago, and they actually made a difference in their life because they got it. They totally got it. When they were complaining about work, being fearful, right? They self-parented themselves, right? Because one of them works for a narcissist. Can't please a narcissist at all, ever, right? But they make really good money. So ask for a new job, making the same money or more, right? But until that happens, if you're doing it, right? Not relentlessly, but just doing it. Like, Spirit, come on, I gotta have a new job. Come on. They gotta be your best friends. Gotta be. Gotta be the people that you talk to all the time, right? So until that happens, you have to talk yourself down off the ledge, right? Because what do you want to do? You want to either kill them or quit. Well, the first one's not a good thing. You're going to go to prison or you're going to die one way or another. And, if you're going to quit, what's your backup? Because you got to have a backup, everybody. We all know that. That's the one good thing about 3D, being in 3D. You can always find something else before that happens if it's time for them to help you with that. Say, right place, right time. But they talked themselves down. And they were proud of that. They wanted to tell me that, which is awesome. Because that is the one way that you help yourself balance. Because it's not corrective like our parents. There's no anger like our parents. There's no passive aggressive like our parents. Right? We talk to ourselves in a loving way, and you use your name. And I've explained this a couple of times with myself. When I'm abrupt with people at the store, that could be the grocery store, could be the pharmacy counter, could be anything, where I can be a little curt, and I'll feel bad when I get to the car, because Spirit's going, okay, Bill, now what happened with that? I know, I should have been conscious. I'm not conscious. I'm in a hurry. I just want to get my stuff and go, right? I don't want to talk to anybody, don't want to see anybody. Just let me get my groceries and let me get out so that I can get back in my car, open up the windows, open the big old sunroof, and freaking drive. I'm good, right? But self-parenting is fabulous because as I would get home, I couldn't do it when I was driving because I was too engaged. I would get home and I would say, Bill, it's okay. You just weren't conscious. But you got to do a better job. You got to be more conscious, Bill. Got to be more conscious. Just got to pay attention more. Don't be over here in oblivion, because I get like that. It's just easy for me. It's comfortable, right? To be not present and something come out of my mouth because that's who I used to be. Not that guy anymore. because I'll beat myself up, as all of us do. There's not anybody on the planet that does not beat themselves up for making for what they believe was a mistake and hurting somebody else, right? Plain and simple. As an example, I had a doctor's appointment yesterday. I posted this on Facebook. I had to have supposed to have something done from a specialist, and I got there. It's an hour away from my house, and it's the middle of the afternoon on a Thursday. Why I didn't do Coach for the Soul, and I got there 15 minutes before, checked in. About 45 minutes later, they called me back to check my vitals, blah 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 blah. And I said, so how long's the wait? How long is this going to take? They said, well, he's 2.5 hours behind. Wait a minute, what? There's a person in front of you who has to have the procedure done, so he's probably 3 hours behind. I'm not doing that. Well, we had an emergency, but that's the new statement is we had an emergency this morning, and the doctor didn't get there on time or whatever. It's taken longer than what they pegged, right? So I went out to the desk, and I said, I need to reschedule. It's going to be a 3-hour wait. I'm not going to do that. That means I'm going to be here for like 4.5 hours. Then I got an hour drive home in rush hour. Not going to happen. And the woman said, okay, let's set you up, da-da-da-da. Now, did you want the patient portal? I said, no. She goes, really? I'm like, no. No. Telling somebody in the hospital, University of Michigan Hospital, that I didn't get treated properly, that this person didn't do the procedures fast enough, or whatever it was, right? You don't know what it was. There's no reason for me to write a complaint. Not gonna do any good, right? In my eyes, because you don't know what happened behind the scenes. That is not me. That is not me. Being 35 years in retail, if something isn't the way I want it to be, I write a letter, I send a text, I do whatever I gotta do, right? And that was, again, unforeseen circumstances. You can't, because I'm trying to be more like that guy than it is this guy. Right? Simply because we don't know why something happens to us. When the grocery store shelves are kind of empty and you wanted something from there. You know what? Okay. They send you a survey. Okay. Cool. I'll just do the things that I want to do, right? When they don't have something, like a lot of things. And there's a store right by my house, so it's easy to go to. But it has 50% of what I want because they don't fill it like they're supposed to fill it, I understand that, but I'm trying to be more like this guy, right, than this guy, because this is the guy that I want to be, not need to be, want to be. I want to be that guy, see, because that's balance. You don't know what happened behind the scenes, right? Trust me, you're the individual and you're the patient, and should be treated more, or should be treated better. Like with a phone call or a text, he's 2 hours behind. Did you want to reschedule? Whatever, right? And 2 weeks ago, same thing happened at my primary care doctor. Well, he's going to be, you got a 3-hour wait. What? I just drove an hour. Because all my doctors are on the other side of Metro Detroit, where I used to live 10, 15 years ago, 20 years ago. Yeah, see? So, does it do any? No, it doesn't do any good. It gets you upset, right? You're ranting. I worry about Karen and Ken, right? No, I'm not that guy. I'm not that guy at all anymore. But I used to be that guy, James. See? So again, looking at myself, all of us look at ourselves and go, okay, where can I do better? It's the little teeny things that add up to big, huge things. And they appreciate that. They understand that you cross the barrier into 5D, even 4D. And they update your DNA faster because they're ready. I don't know how they do it. I think they just intuitively, psychically know because they're our guardians, basically. They know. But then all of a sudden, things start happening quicker because you're not upsetting your energy. The word upsetting. You're upset. Person behind the counter is upset. Because I can be brutal. I can be a very brutal person. I'm a Capricorn, right? And I'm trying very hard not to be that person, because that person behind there doesn't deserve that energy. You know, it's like when somebody at the grocery store, at the gas station, whatever, is rude. Just like an a-hole, right? What does it make you feel? One of two ways. Either F you, we'll beat his butt, right? Let's fight. Pissed off. Or, you know, just look at him. I just look at him, you know. Yeah, see? But it's going to upset your energy just because you didn't do anything. They're the ones that are angry. They're the ones who are in a hurry. They're the ones who they don't understand who they are. That's important. It's all about self journey, guys. It's all about allowing our spirit guides and guardian angels to take care of us, to teach us in moments where you learn how to not be the person you used to be. Hence why your friends disappear, because you need to be alone, because their chatter infects ego, and ego stops you from moving forward. Family members, same thing. Same exact thing. You know, blood is thicker than water. No, it's not. Give me that water, baby, because blood ain't nothing. We all grow up in a family, and we all have different experiences. In fact, Spirit brought me a video yesterday just about that. It was about a man who talked about, my sister and I grew up in, he was talking to this therapist, I'm assuming, this guy. And he says, my sister and I grew up in that same house, but how can she be so different than I am? And the person said, you didn't grow up with the same parents. You grew up with your parents when they were 32. She grew up with your parents when they were 37. You didn't grow up in the same house, with the same people, with the same energy. And the guy went, oh my God, that makes so much sense. Yeah, it's that you were 5 years old when she was born. You know, so, and I put that on my Bill Clairvoyant page, right? Facebook page. It blew my freaking mind. My older brothers and my sister and I. How can you not care about this? How do you not care about that? Because they didn't grow up in the same time as my sister and I. Mind-blowing. Mind-blowing. How my parents were grown when my sister and I were born in their 30s. When my brothers were born, they were in their 20s. Boom. They get married at 24 and 22. Anything that happens now like that, well, they were staying together because they needed to stay together. Right? Survival. The plan is to have kids and take care of them as we think we're supposed to do. Right? So we all have all of that stuff that is deep down inside of us. And the more that you allow that to come to the surface and you can deal through it, right? Just deal with it. You'd be surprised how fast you ascend, how fast they just strip energy from your body because they need you to be here. And I will say that, guys, until I'm dead. They need you to be here. Because after fifth dimension, there's another one, baby. 6. There's 7. There's 8, all the way up to 12. Does it mean we're all going to go there? Some will not. Some will stay at 5. Some will stay with 6. But the kids are going to go to 12, like that. Because they're already in 9 or 10 when they're born. Ready to change the world. Ready to change the world. Okay? So, this month, Pluto's back in Capricorn. There's a lot of other stuff going on, right? That I post on my Facebook page, my Bill Clairvoyant Facebook page all the time. I wish I could paste it on YouTube, but I can't. It just doesn't work. I have to be there and explain it. I wish I could do I guess I could do a reel, but I don't have the wherewithal, the knowledge to do those types of things where I just put things on. I did do one for Facebook the other week. That was pretty cool. And it just, again, it happened. They brought me this, thing. Do you want to do a reel? Why not? What the hell? Click. And doom, 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 doom. All the graphics went up and it was this cool freaking thing. Had music attached to it too. Don't know how that happened, but it worked. See? So if you allow yourself discoveries, guess what? They'll show you the way. They'll definitely show you the way. Okay? So, guys, you have questions, you know where to put them, preferably on the YouTube channel at Bill Hobart, okay? This will be deleted about 7 o'clock. because over there, I'll try to answer whatever questions you have down here, but put them on YouTube. You can teach other people, because there's lots of people who have questions that don't know if I'm going to answer them, which I always do, but that's the few that ask the question. All right. So if you'd go over to YouTube about 5 o'clock and like the video, and if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe and leave me a comment or an emoji or a question in the comment section. I would appreciate it, because YouTube will use the algorithms to send Coach for the Soul around the planet, and that's what it's all about, right? So, yeah. Questions, you know what to do. Have a good weekend. It's Friday. It's going to be pretty nice. Enjoy it. Relax. Do meditation. Get outside. Sit quietly. Right? Get a babysitter for your kids if you have to. Whatever. All right. So next week we'll be back on Thursday at 4 o'clock. 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock. What are you doing? Thursdays at 3. Starting again next week. Namaste, everybody. I love you. And I'll see you soon. Well, 6 days. See you.